So how do VA jumbo loans work? Now, don't be too confused, because there's really no such thing as a VA jumbo loan. It's just a VA loan that is higher than the conforming loan limit for the area. I said conforming loan limit. There's no additional requirements to go over that limit with the VA loan because, again, there are no VA loan limits, right? They're gone. It's been 6 years almost since they were getting rid of. But how does it work? So we're still gonna pull your certificate of eligibility because, as you may remember, that should always be your VA lender's first step. I personally will never pre-approve a buyer without their certificate of eligibility because that little letter with that grid and your name and your last four and your branch of service, it tells me the most important thing that I need to know about you as a veteran buyer, and that is that you are actually eligible to use the VA loan. Beyond that, if that grid is clear, I know that you are able to buy whatever you want, as long as you qualify, for zero down. So the VA jumbo loan means that you're going over the conforming loan limit, you're still putting 0% down, but the beauty of it is it's still underwritten to the VA guidelines. And the reason that matters is because on the conforming side and the conventional side, if you're doing a jumbo loan, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac don't buy those. So there's no easy way to just pull up a blanket regulation that Fannie or Freddie provide. With these, you have to go lender by lender by lender and see what they're willing to offer. How many months of reserves? And reserves is depending on the amount of homes that you own, making sure that you have X amount of dollars in the bank. So if your mortgage payment's gonna be $5,000 a month and that lender requires 6 months of reserves, you need $30,000 in a verified asset, whether it's a 401k, an IRA. It doesn't have to be liquidated. We have to see that it exists. There's been times, many years ago, I remember a lender specifically, they would only do jumbo loans if you had 36 months of reserves. That's a lot, right? I mean, granted, a lot of people do have the 36 months of reserves, but for it to be a guideline and a requirement for them to do a jumbo loan, I think it's a little bit silly. But again, on the VA side, we're just going to the handbook. They're telling us what they're able to do, right? There are gonna be lenders out there that put their own overlays on things. I don't work with that. I go straight to the handbook and I work with what the handbook tells me. Now, if you're going to use the VA jumbo loan, the VA, a big loan, right? To buy a $2 million 4-unit property and you're using rental income to qualify, we're gonna need two things. We're gonna need to see that you have a property management company that is going to help you manage the rentals, right? You're gonna live in one of the units still, but you need to have experience as a landlord or you hire a property management company, right? So the VA is just looking for a likelihood of success. They're also gonna ask me for 6 months of reserve. So here we go again. If your payment is $5,000 for that property and you're using rental income to buy it, you're gonna need that $30,000. You're gonna need that 6 months of that payment in a qualified asset. If you don't need the rental income for the units that you won't occupy, there's no reserve requirement. You already meet the income requirements. You don't need to use the rental income to offset. It's a beautiful thing. So it really depends on the situation that you're in, and it is a great way to build generational wealth, especially for you younger people. Maybe you're newly married, maybe you're single, maybe you're married and you're aggressive. If you're looking to get into the investment game and you have some money set aside in an account, maybe buying a more expensive multi-unit property with your VA loan benefit is something to look into. It could be a great wealth generator for years to come, okay? If you have any questions whatsoever, keep in mind, I can help you in any state, whether it's me writing the loan myself, unless you're in Vermont, Delaware, Rhode Island, New York, or Alaska, I can still set you up with somebody. Call me or text me 630-235-2405. Reach out to info@thevaloannerd.com. Shoot me a comment right down here. I'll get right back to you.